So today we have a wonderful opportunity to go over a lot of different steps, phases in tile installation. One of the biggest things that we do with our company is we always ask, what's the goal? What's the budget? What are you trying to do? What's important to you? Where are things located? So on and so forth. Because it always begins with, what is it? Where is it at? What are you working on? And generally the same information kind of applies to everything from the build to the actual final cleaning and living and maintenance. Like that foundation generally encompasses what you have to look at. And in this particular scenario, I have been afforded a rare opportunity to go over different things from the prep to the install, and then we'll touch base on what the install should be like depending on what your goal is. Because again, one person could say it should have been done this way, but without asking what the goal is, that answer is incorrect, because it needs to apply to you. And that's where we start from. So first and foremost, I want to go ahead and say that we are in a basement. We've been contracted and hired to do the prep work and the clean work for the contractors that are installing the tile. We're helping the customer, give them insight and information as to what's important to them and let them decide, but give them the pros and cons to different scenarios. So in this case right here, we'll first start off with what you can pretty much kind of no longer see. But down here in the corner, you could see that we have a concrete floor. Before you install any kind of tile on a concrete floor, you always want to prep the concrete floor, and that's the part of the service that we provided for the tile setter. And basically what that is whenever you're doing construction, you have soil, you have dust, you have mudding, you have all these different aspects that's going on in the build. And it might be in the wrong order because I'm not a builder, but I do see what's on concrete floors. And when it comes to concrete floors, and it might be pre-existing, and with pre-existing concrete floor, you might have a poly on there, you might have epoxy paint, it might just be regular paint, so on and so forth. So the first important thing to do is to prep your surface. In this particular case, what we did is we cleaned the floor, vacuumed up the floor, rotary scrubbed the floor, rinsed and extracted using our truck mounted machine. And what does that do? Our truck mounted machine basically just helps rinse, emulsify, extracts the soil that is on the actual surface that you're going to be applying the tile to. In this case, it's concrete. With concrete, you can either go ahead and scratch it all up, or you can do an acid rinse. When you're doing an acid rinse, basically, and now we go into natural stone, right? Because natural stone and concrete both have something in common, and that is calcium. When you introduce acid to calcium, you're instantaneously getting this chemical reaction, and that chemical reaction results in etching. When you have etching is a sense of basically burning. You're burning off a layer. Why would you want to burn off a layer? Because when you burn off a layer, you're opening up the pores. And when you open up the pores, it allows whatever it is that you're trying to put on top that's absorbable to absorb and to actually grip. So now, just by saying that alone, you could see that by prepping the floor properly allows for better adhesion of the mortar that's used under the tiles to go ahead and affix the tiles. So I will leave it at that. In the next video, I'm going to go ahead and touch on mortars and tricks on the way things are installed, what's important to you, what may not be important to you. And after consulting with this customer here, they decided to just go ahead and level things out in a fashion that's not quite standard and not quite the way that you want to do it, but to do it properly comes at the cost of time. I'll get into that one in a second. So hopefully this little tidbit was helpful. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and or call us if you need any assistance or to be a part of your prep process and cleaning process during your building stages. On to the next one.